What if I told you you could live longer with one simple trick? How does the strongest Olympian in the US do it? How does he become strong? How does he stay healthy? What is Arnold Schwarzenegger's trick to staying strong and healthy even into his older age? It's simple: plant based diet. As a junior in high school, I was pretty strong. I won the bench press competition and repeated my senior year. I was also in the first ever team strongman competition in Honolulu, Hawaii when I was 17 years old. I was able to squat 650 pounds, bench press 500 pounds, and deadlift 600 pounds. I was a product of the meat based diet. That's what I was told to do. The science made sense, and I followed it to a T. By the research the world has done and the information the public now has, we know that that is incorrect. And everyone should take note because everyone wants to live as long as they can. This plant based diet will help. I'm going to turn you all into plant based eaters. I'm going to save your life. Eating plant based helps your body stay in homeostasis. In essence, that means it creates an equilibrium in your body, an optimum performance. Your first step to living longer via a plant based diet is to find out what this homeostasis is. There's three things involved with homeostasis in your body. One is protein. Protein is made up of amino acids and are considered the building blocks of our cells in our bodies. Animal proteins such as meat, chicken, eggs, and milk contain saturated fats, which raise your LDL levels within your bloodstream. LDL is low density lipoproteins. Now, what that does is the saturated fats build up in your arteries and veins and leads to a shorter lifespan naturally. What I mean by that is that when your arteries and your veins are introduced to these higher levels of LDL, they inflame up to 3 times the size, constricting the area of blood flow. That higher cholesterol level, that higher saturated fat level then starts to build plaque inside that constricted blood flow space. The saturated fat builds up on those arteries, and whether it's heart disease or an inflammatory disease or diabetes, something will happen. But you don't just need protein to survive and maintain your equilibrium in your body, you need carbohydrates. Carbs provide the energy for you to be at equilibrium and to maintain homeostasis. If you don't think you need them, then you probably don't enjoy breathing or good blood circulation, as carbohydrates are the only things that can provide this for your body. Yes, carbs fuel the process for many of the life functions that your body goes through to keep equilibrium. For you meat eaters, pick an animal. Any animal that you would normally eat or that you can eat. How many carbs do you think comes from that animal? Before you cook it, after you cook it, or anywhere in between? 0. If you guessed that, you're right. If you're not going to be a plant-based diet eater, you're choosing to die earlier in life. You're choosing to clog your arteries and deprive yourself of simple nutrition that could help you live longer. Just as much as you need carbohydrates, you need fats as well. And you need them to survive. Fat is fat. That's what we're taught. But if you knew that discarding the fat from meats and then replacing it with a handful of, let's say, almonds or walnuts could extend your life, would you do it? because it's that simple. Just as much as you need carbohydrates, you need those fats. There's good fat and there's bad fat. And without going into the actual in-depth specifics of types of fat breakdown, cholesterol, we know as a fat, is bad. Fat from plant-based foods are good. And instead of clogging your veins and your arteries, the good stuff actually does the opposite and promotes the homeostasis that your body wants to have by providing body insulation and blood clotting abilities, which is very important for cuts. In this first point, it's fairly simple and straightforward. You need protein, you need carbohydrates, you need fats in order to keep your body at homeostasis. Where you get those should be plant-based, as animal-based will shorten your life. If that's not enough information to change your mind, consider this. 1 in 4. 647,000 a year. 1 every 37 seconds. Those are all numbers that are deaths related to heart disease in association with the information by the CDC. Dr. Mazafarian from Harvard University said, processed red meats, bacon, sausage, salami, and deli meats are associated with much higher risk of heart disease. Further, Harvard School of Public Health has shown that people who eat the most processed meats have a higher overall risk of death. Not just disease, but death. The National Institute of Health says, compared to people eating diets rich in plant-based protein, those who ate a diet rich in red meat had triple the levels of chemicals linked to heart disease. Triple. So in my mind, if you're telling me, if I just replace the meat with the plants, I can triple my chances of living a longer life. To me, it's simple and straightforward. And it proves that there's a direct correlation between meats and heart disease. Now, are you ready to live a healthier and more fulfilling life? By going plant-based, you can eliminate a number of physical and therefore mental side effects. Those being bloating, constipation, high cholesterol, and high blood pressure. Think about the times when you've been bloated or constipated and how uncomfortable it was. I tell myself, I'm never eating that again. I'm never drinking milk. I'm never having as much steak because I'm bloated, I'm constipated, and I hate myself. It hurts. So eliminate those foods and eliminate the negative physical and mental feelings that you have. How many people do you know that are on medications for high cholesterol and high blood pressure? I can tell you how many. In the United States, 75 million people are on high blood pressure pills or high cholesterol pills. By eating plant-based diets, that number would be decimated, saving tens of millions of lives in the US alone. To this point, I've covered how to keep your body in homeostasis with plant-based eating, consuming the healthy proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. I've touched on heart disease. 1 person in every 4 die from heart disease. 1 person dies every 37 seconds from heart disease. And that eating plant-based will effectively improve your overall quality of life by eliminating the horrible physical complications that also negatively affect us mentally. So I have one question to end this speech. I've told you I was going to save your life. I've led you to that holy grail. It's your choice whether to eat from it or not. The question is, do you want to live? Thank you.